All right. We are here live, guys being dudes. It's been a minute for me to be here. Happy to be back with the boys. We're missing Dave today, but I'm back. Bobby's here. Wingo's here. Yeah, exactly. New face. We got a new guy on camera. But obviously, we had draft day one go down yesterday, so you know we're going to talk a little bit of draft today. We got the NBA playoffs going on. The Lakers are rolling. Bobby's team's rolling over there in the West. Then we got some fun, conversations. We got monkeys going at war with each other in Uganda. I don't know what's going on over there, so we're going to talk some of that, and then we got our debate of the week. So let's kick it off with the draft, boys. How we feeling? It was a little bit of a crazy day, obviously, for the Fins fans. Bobby, I know you had a rant on the dive bar last night, so why don't you kick it off? How we feeling?
I was going to let Wingo, since he's the agent, and he'll have a good perspective in a civil, maybe not civil. According to Wingo, he had a worse day than me. But I can only imagine what day one of the draft is like for an agency and taking care of your guys and worrying about guys and being stressed. But, I've had some time to sleep on it. Anybody who watched the dive bar last night, we were live, and I had some choice words for my boy Sully after the selection. And it really isn't Proctor. Like, I slept on it. Proctor's a grown-ass man. Like, that's a mammoth of a man. Could absolutely has a high ceiling. Some people thought he should be the first tackle taken if it wasn't for, the weight concerns. He's 20 years old. Like, I can get that. My issue is one, you give Jerry Jones Caleb Downs. That fucking crushed me. Obviously, you don't even think Caleb Downs could possibly fall to 11. He's there, and you just say, come on up, Jerry Jones, and take him. That hurt. And then I was like, okay, so it's Vega, obviously. And then I heard Caden Proctor, a guy I haven't talked about or mentioned for the Dolphins one time all offseason because I thought we already have Caden Proctor at home and Patrick Paul. So the vision is a little murky, but like I was talking to the guys earlier, if Caden Proctor is your starting left guard or right tackle come week 3 and they're mauling dudes and Achan's taking it to the house and, hey, Sully's a hero, right? So, look, we'll wait and see on that. Sully obviously knows more than me. I do always say that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know more than a guy that's been in football his whole life. And then, to double back, Chris Johnson, a guy I've loved the whole process, a guy I've pounded the table for and mocked to the Dolphins a million times. So I do love that. They came back and did something I absolutely love and can't complain about at all. So all in all, a decent day. And what really makes me feel good is, and Wingo can touch on this because there's a couple of those Rosenhaus guys sitting there still. The board is loaded. There's still a lot of good work to be done for all teams, and we'll talk about the whole draft. Sully can do a lot of good tonight and get 2 guys I love out of 3, and I can respect his vision with the 12th pick and getting an absolute juggernaut. So I'm still in it. They could ruin it for me, but they could absolutely save the day too at 43.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an amazing night. It was cool to have 2 of our guys go. We were hoping for another one, but, those guys will get picked up early today or tonight. Just looking at it, right, we knew it was going to be Fernando at 1. It was Bailey or Reese at 2, right? Jeremiah Love was going 3 as long as the Cardinals didn't trade away. I know that was the biggest thing. Everyone was wondering, hey, are the Cardinals going to get out of 3? What are they going to do? Stuck with it, took Jeremiah Love. I think that's a big-time pickup for them. Hopefully they can get him some help on the O-line to make things look a lot better. And then, you look at the rest of the things after that, right? I was almost excited to see Tyson go. At first, when I looked at him, I thought he was going to be a guy that was going to fall. But, seeing his emotion come out and, when he's running onto that stage, that's where you take it all in, right? That's where you see, he's been through the ACL, the PCL, and all these injuries in his knee, and then to come back, be up there on stage with Roger Goodell and, get that jersey and have that handshake. That's a big-time moment. Dolphins-wise, Proctor, I mean, I thought, Downs falling, it was like that was,
destiny.
We were going. That's where we were going. But, Proctor is a guy who is elite. Right. In my eyes, the first thing I said was put him in the backfield with AJ. Right. And this guy, I saw him, 3rd and short and goal line situations. He's running the ball. I think the reason that Sully really loved this guy is just his versatility. Right. I think coming from Alabama, he's a program guy. He buys in. He's a leader. He was a captain over there. So he's somebody that can not only be versatile. I feel like being that, 6'7" height. I think he can, move over to guard possibly, but also just being a leader on the offensive line with Patrick Paul. And then got to bring up Ty Simpson, right? That was the biggest question of the draft. Where's Ty Simpson going to go? Unfortunately, seeing the presser, right, with Sean McVay, he seemed a little unhappy about it. That's unfortunate, right? I mean, Sean McVay, he got to be better PR trained than that, and I know he is. But it's like, hey, you just picked it's who you picked. You got to deal with it. When you get to the media, hey, great pick, excited for this guy. Don't go up there and saying, hey, well, it wasn't my decision. And now that just looks back, and that's a bad start already for Ty Simpson walking into the building and being with Sean McVay. But, I think he's a great quarterback. I think, the hot take was when Dan Orlovsky came out and said Ty Simpson's number one quarterback. I do think breaking down the film that Ty Simpson's film was actually better than Fernando Mendoza, just because some of the throws he had to make, some of the scrambling, and just the situations that Alabama was in last season. But, it was fun. A lot of guys got picked up. A lot of dreams were made, things that these guys have wished since they were 5 years old, and it's exciting, and ready to go for day 2.
Yeah, I think this draft, and specifically, obviously a lot of talent that went in the first round, but it wasn't your top-heavy superstar type of first round, right? And I think a lot of people are talking about today really as the day where you can make some moves, right? Bobby, you talked about like what does day 2 look like, right? And what are the moves teams across the board? Obviously the Dolphins being one of those teams, but a lot of teams that have maybe multiple picks in this draft can make a lot of noise today. And I think there's a lot of good value in these next 2 rounds, right? Wingo, you bring up Ty Simpson, right? The reaction from Sean McVay was interesting, right? And I'm curious to get your perspective on this. Like, he's obviously involved in that discussion, right? So it almost felt like, obviously, 1, he was disappointed, but 2, shocked. Obviously, he knew they were going to go there, right?
Well, so every organization is different in how they do it. Whether or not it's the GM, the head coach, and the owner, right? They have their big board, and they have their decision of picks and who they want. And maybe LA is just a team where the head coach isn't really making the decisions, right? He might have had his guy. They maybe were on the same page, and when it went down to making the pick, it wasn't what he thought. But I wish he would have came out a lot differently.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just really unfortunate. And imagine, put yourself in Ty Simpson's shoes, right? It's like, wow, like the first thing they say about me, the coach, the organization that just took me is like, I'm going there with negativity already. So, he's a hard fought guy that's tough minded. So I think he's going to go in there, ready to work. But that's unfortunate for Sean McVay to do that, and it's a little disappointing to see.
Yeah, and on the Dolphins side, right, we've made 2 trades in the first round, right? That, I think more than anything, you could talk about the personnel that was drafted, right? When we talk about Chris Johnson and Proctor, right, Caleb Downs was there. You traded back. Solely said that he was taking Proctor no matter what, even if he doesn't trade up or trade down for that pick, right? So he seems set on it. And he talked about the fact that he's investing in the offensive line to protect Malik Willis, right? Because they invested in Malik. And if you're going to have a quarterback, you got to give him the best chance, right? You can make the argument then if offensive line was the pick always there, why didn't they go Vega, right? Interior guy. Bobby, you talked about that, right? Where now we have all these tackles. You got AJ, you got Patrick Paul on the left side, and then now you got another monster of a tackle. I'm curious to see what they do there, right? Is there a chance they move AJ in and then put Proctor out on the right side? Do they put, Patrick Paul, I feel, has to stay at left tackle. You've spent the last 2-3 years now developing him to be the guy there, right? So that to me is my biggest question mark with that pick. Chris Johnson's a beast, right? But did we need a trade up to get him, right? We gave up a 3rd-round pick to go and get him. Could we have just gotten him there at 30? The thing that makes me feel better, and I think Joe Robbie also tweeted this, was the fact that Buffalo was sitting at 27, I believe, right after, right? Did we have some sort of intel that we were like, all right, well, we're not going to let Buffalo get him, so we're going to jump them up. And then Buffalo actually trades out of that pick, so they must have not – that might have been their guy, and they said, screw it, we'll trade back, and we'll draft in the 2nd round instead and get the extra pick.
I do believe something like that happened, and I will say Buffalo always, and it brings tears to my eyes, Buffalo always finds a way to get blocked at the end of the first round. It's like they try to get too smart, they trade down, and they always miss their guy. It's just like Xavier Worthy. Right. They traded down. They thought they were going to get Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs were like, yeah, right. Anyways, you end up with Keon Coleman. It's not working there. People love him. Some people like him in the building. Some people don't. It's an absolute mess. So, yeah, definitely love to see that. And that's another thing to add to the Proctor pick. Sully said it, and we've heard it from multiple people now. Detroit wanted to come up to get Proctor.
Yes.
People were going to come to get Proctor. When I hear on the surface level when it happened, it's like, what the hell are we doing here? You could have traded all the way down to 15 and still done this. But then you hear the truth. It's like, no. Like, I know there was some intel out there that he possibly could have went in the top 10, but those tackles kind of slid down a little bit more than expected. Proctor was in consideration at 9 for Cleveland. So you got to understand things that you may not understand in the moment. Like, you don't know what's really going on behind closed doors. And like, the Dolphins would have traded down to 15. True. They missed Proctor. They missed a bunch of guys. And Sully was clearly convicted on Proctor. I mean, he didn't care about any analogy or excuse. Hey, Caleb Downs is cool, but you wasn't our guy. That's simple as that.
If you don't know what's going on, if you're just sitting on your couch watching the draft and you have no idea and you're just like, you like this guy and like that guy, go watch the movie Draft Day, right? You see the chaoticness and what's going on. And that's behind the scenes with every organization, right? You go in with a plan, knowing what you kind of want to do, and then shit hits the fan. Someone picks the guy that you were going to pick. Guys are trading up. 2 teams are conspiracying behind your back and going to trade here and trade and do that. So it's a frustrating process, and it's also very spontaneous, right? You never know what's going to happen. But, I got to give my props, sadly, being a Dolphins guy, I got to give my props to the Jets.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Jets is a big-time winner in this draft. First of all, they got some talent on that team already. They haven't been able to put it together. They've been a mess forever, right? David Bailey, big-time guy on the edge. Sadiq, come on. You got 2 big-time tight ends with Mason Taylor and Sadiq, and then being able to pick up Omar Cooper Jr. You got another receiver. I have a chance to see Geno Smith throwing last week down here in South Florida, and I'll tell you what. That guy's ready to go. He just got a payday. I'm excited for him because you know what? I'm sometimes when guys are just doing so terrible and can't win football games, it gets to the point where you just feel a little sympathy and you hope maybe they win a few games just to spice things up. So, I'm going to give, my team to the Jets for the winners of the first round.
Really?
I'm trying to Google real quick who represents Geno Smith.
No idea.
Okay, never mind. We're good then. That was an honest opinion by the Ringo. Okay.
You guys answer this. Isn't this a story always with the Jets in the first round? I feel like they always have exciting first rounds. They got Sauce and Garrett a couple years ago. They always make some moves. But then it's the same story at the end of the day. Is this just their first round fireworks and then it just kind of fizzles away once the actual season goes and they actually start playing football? Because I feel like this is always a story. Like, I'm not that surprised by it because I feel like the Jets always have pretty good drafts.
Yeah.
But they can never, put it all together when it all comes down to it. That's what I think.
I feel some PTSD about the Dolphins when you're making those comments too.
I feel like the Jets don't have the right people in place. The Jets don't really have the right people in place to take advantage of their talent.
Yeah.
I do believe they've had the talent, much more talent in that building, like Wingo said, over the last 5 to 10 years than they've put out wins. And I just think they haven't got it right with coaching or whatever it be. And obviously not having the right quarterback. Obviously, that's probably the biggest thing, honestly. Because, we've took a couple L's to the Jets, even with what we thought was a sorry team or no quarterback or whatever. Like, the Jets put out a good product. They just haven't had the guy under center and maybe not the guy on the headset. And that's a big deal. That means a lot. And, I think they're much better than their record have shown in the last few years, and they really have drafted well. And it sucks to see what they did last night because they really did nail last night. David Bailey, we'll see if he was better than Arvell Reese at the end of the day. I thought it was also funny, David Bailey, they asked him who he looks forward to playing the most as being a Jet, and he said, probably the Giants. And people were like, y'all play the Giants once every 4 years. He clearly didn't know what the hell was going on, but that's okay.
That's amazing.
As long as you can play football.
Yeah.
I seen a quote tweet, so I said, "Oh no, he's stupid."
That's all you need.
What the hell? That's a little crazy, but some of the answers are good that we heard last night. But the Jets did awesome. I do want to say, Wingo, how's Mason Taylor feeling right now with Kenyon Sadiq coming in town?
I haven't really had a chance to talk to him, but honestly, when I'm looking at it, it's almost, it's not completely 2 different tight ends. But Mason's he's a system guy, right? He's a guy that can block. He's a guy that's super smart, knows the defense, knows the whole offense. You can put him a little bit deeper, and you can also bring him across the line. There's so many things you can do with Mason. And then when you get Kenya Sadiq, he's just a freak of nature. Yeah. But, let's take a look at some of the other teams, right? You're starting to see these teams with two very solid tight ends. When you're going in this 12 personnel offenses, when you're getting to the goal line, when you're getting to third and shorts, situational football is the most important thing, right? Can you win the situational situations at the end of the day? And I think having two solid tight ends it is big time, and that allows you to open up the offense in so many different ways, provides mismatches. So to have them both on the field, I think is going to be tremendous.
Yeah, my only thing with the Sadiq pick, right? Obviously, Wingo, you said it. I mean, he's a stud, right? He's a freak athlete. You could pretty much do anything you want with the guy. But when you look at the Jets the last 2 years, right? Second round pick, Mason Taylor, great tight end, right? And then now Sadiq, first round pick, tight end. When you're trying to build a roster and you've wasted a first and a second round pick on tight ends, I get the fact in the NFL now you're seeing kind of like this two tight end monster and setting all that up. But you're the Jets, right? Like, you have so many other needs, and you can make the argument you don't draft for needs and you draft for best player available and all that. But I don't know. I didn't get it for the Jets there. That's my thoughts on that.
Well, a good point. What you said there is the Jets were the only team in the NFL last year to have 0 interceptions, and they did nothing to improve that category for sure. Mm-hmm. And they do have a lot of holes on that defense and in that secondary. But look, they got aggressive. When you look at it, you can look at it both ways. Mm-hmm. They absolutely got a lot of holes in that defense still, but man, that offense is looking crazy. I mean, they trade back into the first, get Omar Cooper, you got Sadiq. They did get David Bailey 2 overall, so it's not like they did nothing. We were trying to say something. Go ahead.
It's our mastermind plan to bring Mason Taylor back home.
Hey. I like that.
I will say this too: the Jets are built for a quarterback. I mean, they're a quarterback away, and they got all these picks. Everybody knows it. This wasn't the year to do it. Everybody went back to school, but they still going to have a bunch of picks next year. They still got a lot of picks, and this team is perfect on the offensive side of the ball now for a young quarterback to step in and have a great environment and a great system with weapons galore, a good offensive line. So they have, that's not to be overlooked, they have absolutely nailed that part of the build.
Yeah, no, I agree. And before we go to, because I want to talk obviously about today, and this will piggyback a little bit into the Jets conversation and quarterbacks and what the next couple of days look like there. But I don't know if you guys heard this story at 20, right? I believe Pittsburgh. Steelers. Yeah, we're on the phone with Lemon, and the Eagles just came in, and he was on the phone. He wasn't answering the phone because he was on the phone with the Steelers, and then the Steelers were like, oh shit, we just lost them to the Eagles.
Dude, that was incredible. Mekhi Lemon was like, what's up? Yeah, this is the owner of the Steelers. We're going to come get you. And he was like, you can see him like look at his phone a couple times, like, yo, why are the Eagles calling me? And then I guess it was like his agent or manager comes in, and you got to feel bad for Pittsburgh because you could absolutely tell this guy was excited that the Eagles were coming to snipe him from the Steelers. He was like, where's my phone? He was like, the Eagles are trading up for you right now. The Eagles are trading up for you right now. And he's on the phone with the representation for the Steelers. And he's like, they didn't show the rest of it, but I can only imagine how awkward that was.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, too, it's tough for the Steelers because it doesn't matter who they got. You did not get your guy. Your guy was Mekhi Lemon, and you can't come, you come to that podium and you say, this was our guy. We had conviction. It was always going to be, who did the hell did they take? Max. It was always going to be Max out of Arizona State. We know that wasn't BS, their guy.
Yeah.
They might love Max, but they wanted Mekhi Lemon. Now they did not get their first option. That is absolutely crazy. And I did see a good point. It's kind of reckless on the Steelers' part. I mean, the Cowboys were on the clock, and they assume they're taking defense. You go ahead and call a kid. You don't know what's going to happen. Nothing's official until picks are in. And for them to call a kid before the pick was in, honestly, kind of deserve what they got.
Yeah.
I got a funny story for you. One of our agents last year had a guy, and I guess when they showed up to the Airbnb, they realized the Airbnb had no connection and no service. And I guess when he got the call, that's like the famous video of him getting a call, and they're like, call his agent. And he didn't answer either. And nobody. So, hey, pick up your phone if you want to make some money.
Yes. I saw that this morning, actually. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. All right, let's talk day two. Obviously, a big day today for everybody, right? A lot of good names still available. What do you guys think? Right? Let's actually start. Is there a quarterback going in today in the second, third round? If so, who's that guy? Where's he going? It feels like it might be a reach, but there's still a ton of teams that need quarterbacks out there.
Carson Beck.
I mean, I guess Carson Beck might be your next guy. I don't. They tried to sell hype that he could possibly slip into the first. I think that was selling hype, as I said. But Carson Beck is there. I know, depending on who you ask, there could be a curveball. Maybe Sawyer from Baylor or Drew Aller is going to be coming in these conversations eventually.
LSU kid too.
Gus Nussmeier, but he has that cyst on his spine now. I don't know if that's a big deal or not, but that came out earlier this week. So I don't know if a quarterback's in play, especially with the board's loaded right now. And it's so loaded with, linebackers and defensive tackles. You still got Jermod McCoy, which is crazy. I guess the medicals did come back bad. But Jermod McCoy with the injury, and then you got Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety from Toledo, still there, 6'3" freak. But I don't think a quarterback's going anytime soon, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think a quarterback's going anytime soon. Nussmeier, I think, would have possibly went, but now with this, issue with the cyst on his spine, that's a big thing. Carson Beck, I don't think anyone's going to take him in the second or third. So I think there's still some big-time guys on the board. Obviously, Cade McDonald, right? I think he's going to be stealing the second round. D'Angelo Ponce is definitely going in the second round. There's a few guys that you'll see. You'll see the Zion Youngs. But I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of trading. Because I feel like these aren't the top tier guys, but it's still guys that everybody wants. Like these are your guys that you want to come into your program and can be impact players. So I think some organizations are going to be calling around today and making some trades to get something happening. So,
yeah, I mean, the McCoy, the corner out of Tennessee, right? I know he's coming off the knee injury. Wingo, what's your thoughts on him? Obviously, he was rated as one of the best corners in this draft class, but here we are in the second round. A couple corners already gone. Do you see him going early today?
Yeah, I mean, I can see him going. Honestly, I think he's going to go mid-second. When I really take a look at it, it's like, amazing 2024 season, right? Big-time injury. He hasn't played football in a while. But then I also, now I'm looking at Caleb Banks, right? Caleb Banks didn't play all of 2025. Great, not even great full 2024 season. Back half of the 2024 season exploded, but then he did really, really well at the Senior Bowl, and he had those other things. But at the end of the day, he hasn't played football, in a long time, and that's a big time risk, right? It's no different than when you look at quarterbacks during pro day. A quarterback is never going to have a bad pro day. If you put an athlete on the field, they're going to be able to do drills and look good. But it's so much different than actually putting the cleats on, putting the pads on, and being in a fast environment, playing the game of football. So I think that's what everyone's really worried about. But he's top talent, so he's definitely going to go earlier. I think maybe mid of the second round. He's a guy that has the possibility of being a steal. But at the end of the day, when you're handing out that much money, you got to take everything into account. And I think once a few teams passed up on him, that was the consensus for everybody else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Bobby, what do you think? Finns, right, got 43, and then they got 2 third-round picks. Is a receiver, obviously, still a big need there, right? There's a couple still good receivers out there. I mean, it's obviously going to be very dependent on what happens before a lot of the picks that we go, right? But edge guys, we still need safety, right? We got the kid from Toledo out there. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, honestly, we have 43, and then we have 3/3 left, and we have 4/5. So if I'm solely, I would entertain trading up. I think Emmanuel McNeil-Warren would make a lot of sense. Obviously, if you wait till 43, we'll see how the board goes. But I mean, Chris Brazel from Tennessee is enticing, the 6'5" gazelle who runs a 4.3. That's very enticing. You want to really get that offense and Malik Willis excited. You got Chase Basantis, the guard from Texas A&M. If you want to double down and really stick to your gun solely and build a wall, you could go that route. I think the edge room is still there. I mean, Zion Young, he's a polarizing guy that a lot of people are torn on. But at 43, even Cassius Howe from Texas A&M, those guys make a lot of sense. I think that if he could fall, and for his sake, I hope he doesn't, but for the Dolphins, Caden McDonald, probably the best run stuffer in this draft, is still there on day 2. And defense tackle considered not a need, but I've talked about this before. Zach Siller's not getting any younger. He's probably not in the long-term plans. Caden McDonald gives you a plug in the middle. You can put Kenneth Grant back into 3-tech where he's more a natural penetrator and can be more aggressive in the pass rush sense. I think Caden McDonald can make a lot of sense as well. And then Jacob Rodriguez from Texas A&M, the linebacker. I think he's a freak. And he'll be coming off the board soon too, I believe.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that. I think 43 should definitely be Chris Brazel from Tennessee. They need that 6'5" receiver. And then you got so many, other picks, right? I think they need to put something together to trade up to get another top guy, whether or not that's Zion Young, whether or not that's Caden McDonald. I think, my ideal situation would be taking Chris Brazel and then trading up and getting the safety from Toledo.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. What about Denzel Boston? I mean, I haven't heard you guys bring him up. Obviously, he's another big receiver, 6'4", about 210, 215 pounds. Is he going to fall? Is he not going to be there at 11? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, I've heard that San Fran's on the clock tonight, and I heard San Fran could definitely be a destination for him. Yeah. San Fran's been in on a couple of these receivers. They just got sniped, kind of like the Buffalo thing last night. They got sniped a couple times. Denzel Boston is one of those big, reliable, shorthand guys, but his intangibles don't pop off the screen. He doesn't have like KC Concepcion is explosive as hell. Yeah. Lemon is fun. All these guys are, like that. Denzel is a safe bet, but I think he fell because some of the intangibles and he lacks the explosiveness of some of these other guys. In today's game, people are leaning towards that a little more.
Sweet. I got one thing for you, Bobby, real quick. What would be the worst thing the Dolphins could do today?
Oh, God.
The worst? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Let me look at this big board. Let me look at this big board for a second.
Drafting a quarterback would be pretty shitty.
I think drafting a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, like Carson Beck at 43 would absolutely roll.
I'd stop. It'd be the end. It'd be the end.
And that's not even disrespect to Carson Beck. That's just like...
So we don't need that right now. Not there.
What the hell is really going on?
Yeah.
I feel like we can't go wrong with any other position. Like, even if you want to double dip at corner, yeah. We
Safety,
need it.
corner,
take a receiver. We take a tight end. Maybe that would be weird.
I was going to say, I mean, if DeMond McCoy falls to 43, you got to entertain it.
No, we don't need that in Miami.
Hey, listen. Look, look at his eyes. I'm going to trust whatever he thought he knew or does know, and I'm going to roll with it. Yeah. All right, Jamal McCoy's off my board. All right, back to McNeil Warren. What a freaking safety. 6'3". Let's go.
I've never seen Wingo be like, absolutely not.
Yeah. I don't think Pooch finished his statement before he said that.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. All right, well, day 2 kicks off tonight. Hyped up. We'll see whether we're happy, mad, across the board, whatever your team you root for. It's draft day, Friday night, second, third round, big day. Let's talk NBA playoffs. Before we talk about the games going on, how many people actually watched the NBA playoffs last night, right? You had the NFL draft going on, right? I almost forgot that there was even basketball going on.
Yeah, I didn't even turn on the TV for basketball. I completely forgot that was on. But also last night, LeBron wasn't playing, so.
Fair.
Dude, show me the crown, Wingo. Show me the crown, Wingo. Use your crowns.
Dude, Wingo's looking smart right now. LeBron is absolutely pulling it back to 2005, 2015. I mean,
seed is out there. His seed.
Dude, he is balling. He's carrying hard right now. 41 years old. You could say who you want is the GOAT of all time, but we've never, ever seen this at this age. Absolute science freak absolutely needs to donate his body to science. This is insane.
The series is 2-0 right now, right? And they're playing where, in LA or Houston tonight?
Houston tonight.
All right, so Houston's got to get this one. Then you're down 3-0. Then it's going to get a little dicey.
You know who looks old out there? James Harden. He looks old. He doesn't.
Well, he had what? He had like 20. He had like 23 the other night.
The Cavs are rolling though. The Cavs are moving though, even with him old.
Listen, I didn't even know. I know you guys talked about Harden the other day, but I didn't even know Harden was on the Cavs until the other day. I was like, holy shit, this guy's on the Cavs now? It's impossible to keep up with that guy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't know either.
Well, yeah. Well, last night the Knicks did play and they lost, which is they're down 2-1 to Atlanta. That to me was surprising.
Yes.
You know, if the Knicks don't make it out of the first round with the way the East is, I mean, they're going to have to evaluate a ton of shit there because there's no reason in hell you're down to Atlanta in this. Nothing to take away from Atlanta. And Atlanta's a great team, but the Knicks got to take care of business against the Hawks in this first round. I mean, if they can't get through there, then who are we even talking about? Give it to anybody in the West at that point.
Crickets?
No thoughts on the Knicks?
I was gonna say. I mean, I don't know. I think I agree with you there. And then it's just, the fact is, let's say the Lakers do get out of this, got to play OKC. That's going to be a big time matchup. And then, my biggest thing is the Spurs now with Wemby out. I don't know. I don't think they can. I don't think they can do it. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I think tonight will be a big time factor. One of my favorite players, Anthony Edwards. He's exciting to watch. The way his attitude, his moxie. He's somebody that I think can carry. But at the same time, it's like you can only do that for so long. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll find out tonight.
Yeah, he's a hooper. I mean, the other one that's a hooper, I don't know. Cade Cunningham. Have you guys been watching him? That guy just carries the Pistons on his back. It's insane. Put the ball in that guy's hands.
Yeah, no shit.
Very Anthony Edwards-esque, obviously, but Cade Cunningham is just unreal. I mean, Magic took game one, right? That was an upset, obviously, on the road, going over there to beat Detroit, who's played really well all year. But Cade Cunningham came in game two and showed, which he played really well. I think he had over 30 points in game one as well. Kind of kept them in that game, but they could never really crawl back. But game two, Cade Cunningham, ball in his hands, and I think the Magic are good, but I think Cade's going to be too much in a 7-game series to be able to stop. So I got Pistons there. But yeah, I think it's Pistons, Cavs. Can the Wolves continue to ride Anthony Edwards? How long can they do that? And then the Lakers, obviously, big game. They can go up 3-0 today, and then really kind of run away with that first round. But going through OKC, I mean, OKC, you watch OKC, they look better than everybody different. Always.
Yeah, it's different. I look at like the Sixers 1-1 with Boston. That's kind of surprising to me. Sixers have kind of really
they smoked Boston in game two.
Yeah, they've kind of been a disappointment and weird and dysfunctional all season. So for them to be 1-1 with Boston, that's pretty crazy. And then the Trailblazers, I mean, I still think the Spurs are going to probably go and win 3 straight now. But like the Trailblazers to beat the Spurs once is, I mean, watch out if that becomes a series. That would be wild.
Yeah.
Trailblazers beating the Spurs might be the biggest upset. Obviously OKC losing, but that's not going to happen. Like, that would be insane for the Western Conference.
Well, that was the game that Wemby went down.
Yeah.
So Wemby went down, and they were able to come and, sneak away that win. So
is Wemby going to miss time?
I wouldn't say an asterisk. They still won.
Yeah,
that's the number 1 seed.
That's what I wanted to see.
That was the game that Wemby went
I think he's going to miss time for sure. I mean, that was I always say that basketball players
he hit him on the chin.
Yeah, he smacked his head pretty hard there.
He's technically not out yet for game 3.
Right.
So
they're just spook him.
Yeah, but I mean, if Wemby's not playing, then that series becomes a lot more competitive, I would say. I mean, I would have said Spurs run away with that series easily. I think they win game 2 if Wemby finishes that game too, because they were pretty much up that whole game and they kind of blew it there at the end, even with Wemby hurt. So if Wemby misses game 3, obviously that opens the door for the Blazers to then go up 2-1, and then now Spurs kind of got to play catch up. When you have Wemby, anything's pretty much possible.
For sure.
No. All right. Well, that's pretty much for NBA talk today. Some quick little bits. We got Cadillac Championship coming up. We got the Zurich going on in New Orleans right now, a little team match. But next week in Miami, signature event. We got to check out the grounds yesterday at the Trump National Doral. First time in 10 years that the PGA returns back to Miami, and in the form of a signature event. So you got the top 70 guys. And something interesting, about this tournament is, right, all these guys have played the Florida Swing a million times, right? They've played Arnold Palmer, TPC Sawgrass, PGA National, all these iconic Florida courses. But it will be the first time for heavy majority of the field where they actually will be playing the Blue Monster. Scotty Scheffler has never played the Blue Monster before. Cam Young has never played the Blue Monster before. The last winner there was Adam Scott in 2016. He will be playing. So he's one of the few guys that's actually familiar with this course. So it's going to be interesting, the dynamics of this tournament, considering, these guys historically play a lot of these tournaments year over year. But here we are returning back to Miami for the first time in a long time. And the last time we were here, a lot of these younger guys were not around, right? So signature event with guys that have never played a specific course is going to be an interesting dynamic. So it's going to be really, really, I think, fun. The course is super tough. So for these guys, I think it's going to be a massive challenge. And obviously home base here in Miami, seeing a PGA Tour tournament come back is going to be electric. So Wingo.
I see it almost as a little bit the other side. Blue Monster, obviously, insanely difficult course.
Yeah.
But if you've never played it before, I feel like you might almost play a little bit freer, right?
Fair.
I don't really know too much, so I'm just going to kind of swing and hope for the best. And, at least that's my thought. I mean, I don't know if everything's freezing. I'm just going to But, if you played the course, you know what to expect, so obviously that helps. But, I feel like some of these younger guys, they know it's difficult. They know, this is going to be a tough one. So why not just go out there, enjoy the course, and let it rip?
I get that, right? You play a little bit more free. You don't have
my mentality. That's why I'm not told.
Look, I get it, but I think something like to piggyback off that, right, is right. You have old thoughts of previous tournaments and courses that you've played before, right? So you're almost like a little haunted sometimes about hitting a specific shot because you've played that. So I agree in the fact that you do play a little bit more freely because you have no trauma maybe from previous tournaments and previous rounds that you've played. But kind of on the other side, Blue Monster's got so much teeth on it, right? So much water on that course. The rough is no joke. The water pretty much on every single hole, at least it feels like. It plays really long. I mean, you have one par 5 that I think is going to be playing 670 yards. Bryson DeChambeau, when Liv was there, hit driver 3-wood and then an iron into the greens. And that's one of the longest hitters, in golf, right? So yes, you could play a little bit more freely and you don't have some of those swing thoughts maybe from past trauma of playing the tournament. But if you go a little too free and not think about water or bunkers or some rough that comes into play, it could be a long day, especially if it's windy out there.
Yeah, when you don't know a course is like, bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to land on the top side because you roll down 20 feet. All that stuff means so much and can just add strokes and strokes and strokes. So it will be interesting to see how it all pans out. Also, I want to say this, like, as an outsider, because I'm not really following golf heavy, but this is proof of what I'm about to say to you. Y'all feel like golf is kind of like getting cool? Like, people are starting to care. Like, athletes want to be a part of every tournament. The competition's up. Like, how we feel? I feel like it's starting to, people want to be there on the weekends. Like, they're not taking weeks off. They're like, dude, these guys are all coming up, and they're trying to take your spot now. Like, it's not just Scheffler can decide when he wants to play. He's the man. Like, I feel like golf is kind of getting a little steam here.
Oh, absolutely.
I think a lot of that comes from social media. I feel like even before, I would see some things here and there from golf. Maybe Tiger Woods helped us out with all his things going on recently. People are like, oh, he's a golfer. Let's watch some golf. But, I think, social media's been pushing a lot more golf, the big time shots, the hole-in-ones, and that gets guys fired up. And, who doesn't want to go out to a golf course, have a beer and a glizzy? I mean, I don't eat hot dogs very often, but when I'm on a golf course, I'm getting a hot dog. So I think it's an enjoyable time, see those guys go to work and then realizing how talented they are, right? Like those guys are like when I play 18 holes, like I'm sore after it. Like I'm hurting a little. These guys play 4 days straight. They're walking the course and it's stressful. And, so I give props to these guys being, big time athletes and very precise in their product that they do and their sport.
No, yeah. I mean, golf obviously is blown up. It's sexy, I guess you could say now, right? And even with this tournament, right, in Miami, you got F1 going on the same weekend. So they're actually going to have F1 cars on the course during the Cadillac Championship, which is pretty dope. They're going to have like simulators there so people could be riding, right? It's an experience, right? Like golf is just supplemental to what's going on around the course throughout the day, right? Like it's the drinks flowing, even like family events going on. Like it's just like a sick environment. And there's like, if you're looking for something to do on a weekend and the PGA Tour is in your city, you're probably going to consider going to that because it's just a good time, right? So to Bobby, your point, yeah, like it's fun, it's sick, like F1's collabing with PGA Tour and vice versa. So like even F1, that's like a global brand, wants to be a piece of this, right? So I think that tells you a lot right there too.
Yeah, and it can be underrated, like the social media part.
Yeah.
Just LeBron's playing golf on YouTube with a bunch of dudes like
Bob does sports. That was sick.
Dude, golf has just become such a phenomenon. But I do believe that the social media part deserves a lot of credit, especially the YouTube scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah, playing around with LeBron James must have been electric. All right. Let's make a transition here, right? Obviously, we got MLB going on, but before MLB, there is an interesting story going out in the world right now, specifically in Uganda. I'm not too sure if you guys have heard about this story, but
talk to him, Dre.
There is currently a civil war going on in Uganda, but it's not with the people. It's not with the people. It is with the apes. We have a Planet of the Apes situation going on right now in Uganda. They're actually part of the same tribe. So same tribe of monkeys, same tribe of apes, whatever you want to call them. And they are now currently at war with each other. They are currently at war with each other.
Holy hell.
And scientists are calling it the Western versus Central chimps. So we got a little bit AFC versus NFC, East versus West matchup going on in Uganda right now. And at this point, I think about 200 apes have died from this war going on right now. I mean, we're living in a movie right now, boys. Like, what is going on over there?
We're the Planet of the Apes.
We are living Planet of the Apes right now. It's pretty.
I didn't even see this. I didn't even know about it. So now I'm gonna go look at this. I kind of want to tune in. Like, right. Do they have a live stream?
Live stream.
we need to broadcast this.
Reaction is, I'm glad it's not happening here. That seems wild as shit. Dude, could you imagine, like, just normal day-to-day shit's got to be stressful right now. Like, you're just taking a piss in the woods. It just on your head, dude.
I mean, scientists don't even know why it's happening. All right. This is just, these apes have lived amongst each other for hundreds of years and they've been super normal, super chill, but something happened. I don't know if one dude said some shit to the other dude and it just instigated a massive fight. And here we are 3 weeks later and they're still going at it. But this has been going on for weeks now. This is like week 2, week 3. It's not like, they got in a little tussle, a couple of apes fought. Like, we got a full-blown war going on in Uganda.
The chimp committee probably announced they got a new COVID strand and there's a pandemic. And then the fucking toilet paper went off the shelves. Next thing you know, they're fucking killing each other.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no.
I had to look it up. This is insane.
Bro, it's wild. I'm telling you.
This is insane. This is legit. We need to maybe send in some reinforcements or provide aid because this I don't know if other people and I guess apes are going to come from other territories and unite, but this is the real
They're calling some reinforcements.
I mean, apparently this happens maybe every 500 years, but this has only been observed once other time before. So like this does not happen. It's a phenomenon. It's insane.
It looks like a coordinated attack. Like everybody on this side is on this side. It's not like I'm punching one over here and turning around and getting the guy next to me. Like they look like they're coordinated and know what they're doing.
I gotta look this shit up.
No, I'm telling you. Yeah. I mean, if you're listening to this, please go into the Reddits of the world and just start reading into this because it is a crazy, crazy situation. I mean, do we just let them murder each other till there's no more?
Yeah, they could take its course.
I guess.
You can't interfere with nature.
Nature's nature, man.
You gotta let these boys figure it out.
There's gotta be a good reason.
Right?
It's probably over.
Here's my thing. I don't see a lot on it.
A girl chimp.
I do see a couple videos. There's like a guy standing on ground zero, like standing on the ground watching them fight. Like, what? I would do that.
That's what I was about to ask. Like, if you're a scientist studying this right now, are you there on the grounds just observing what's going on? Like, and
from afar.
I mean,
I'm breaking out the drone. I'm breaking out the drone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting within 50, I don't even know, 100 yards, 200 yards of them.
And remember when there was the debate of like 100 men versus the one gorilla? Like, this is a lot of them. Like, this could take out pounds.
We can test this theory.
God.
And from what I've heard, that shit's like gruesome. Like they're like messing each other up,
ripping arms off and shit.
Yeah,
like
they're bare hands. Like, they don't have weapons. They don't go to war with weapons.
They're mad strong. They're not like Planet of the Apes. They just go spears and stuff. They take you out quick. Over there, it's like we're inflicting pain. They're sending messages. They're leaving like messages on the walls, like you're writing in blood. Like, it's just crazy, bro.
Oh my God.
Electric. Well, if anybody's got any additional facts on this, please share, because we will continue to watch from afar as this, crazy situation in Uganda unfolds.
Next week on Stay Tranquilo, guys being dudes, live from Uganda.
We're
on the ground
from the woods.
So the
on the ground.
Breaking news, though, the reason Dave is not here is because he's actually on his way over there to go study what's going on in Uganda. We sent Dave over there.
Stay safe, Dave.
We said to ourselves, who could we send over there and he could fit in and they wouldn't attack him? And David was the easy winner.
Oh, man. Yeah, if we don't see Dave next week, you know what happened to him.
Dude, could you imagine though? Hey, could you imagine though? Davey's out there. Davey's out there in the middle of the jungle, and he comes on a live stream. He's like, "All right, we're here in Uganda again."
Oh my God, I'd pay a lot of money to watch that. Oh shit. All right, that's enough for some apes today. Let's get into, we could talk MLB. Mets suck. They've won the last two, but they were on 11-game losing streak before that. The Mets just suck. It is what it is. Like, they're one of the, I think, outside of the Rockies, and I forget who else, since, if you go back to last season, they have one of the worst schedule, what do you call it? One of the worst records in baseball since like the latter half of the season last year. And have one of the highest payrolls in baseball. It is absurd what's going on over there. You paid Soto a ton of money. And he's not playing bad, but that roster is too good to be as bad as it is. And I believe they're with a new head coach this year. It's a shit show over there in New York. Either if you're a Jets fan, a Mets fan, poor them. The Knicks lost last night. Poverty over there in New York right now.
I'm going back to my take on baseball again. We got to figure something out with this 80 some odd, whatever, how many games they have.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I feel like baseball is slowly dropping off. I'm not watching baseball every night, but when like the World Series is on, but there's just so many games.
Yeah.
Their contracts are great, right? Guaranteed money, guys are getting paid, but they got to change something in the game to get the fans back going. Everyone likes the 9 beers and 9 dogs and 9 innings. So we got to think of something to get the guys. At this point, I would rather go watch the Bananas. What are they called?
Savannah Bananas. Yeah, Banana League.
Savannah Bananas than going to a regular baseball game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're selling out Savannah baseball games pretty much every venue they go to, and they're using college football stadiums. Like you got 80,000 people there watching these games, and it's sick. I mean, what he's done over there in that league is unreal. And yeah, baseball is just sticking to its old ways, which I get it. I mean, there's a balance to it. You can't maybe go all the way to but I mean, shit, that product works. Like one. I don't know if you guys knew this about Savannah Banana Ball. Did you know that if the fans catch a foul ball, it counts as an out in the game?
Out. Yeah.
Crazy. So cool.
They're really genius. I mean, look, it's a whole science now. They have meetings every week. They don't repeat the same act twice. They constantly coming up with new things. They have crazy tryouts. It's like you might have been the best college player ever, but you might not fit their role because they need you to be different. You got to have something other than like, I'm a great baseball player.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how you see these tryouts and people bring their crazy talents. I seen one dude, his whole role is he's like an old timer baseball player and he wears an old uniform and he's called the old knuckler or something. And all he has is like this crazy knuckleball that no one can hit. And he throws like one inning, but like he's just straight, the old knuckler, here he comes, straight from 1965. And he's just like, knuckleball. And it's just like, and it's like, it's just crazy to see like, and that's what it takes. Like today's age, you have to just be different. And they really push it. I think what else is cool, and this is kind of corny or whatever, but it's cool to see the guy that runs it, the yellow suit guy. I think his name is actually the yellow suit guy or something like that.
Jesse, the yellow suit, he goes by, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Like he truly cares about the product and not charging people an arm and a leg to do stuff. And it keeps the stream free. They've had deals like they could have signed with Hulu or whoever they could have signed with, and they won't do it because they're not going to give exclusive rights because they want every game to be available for free on YouTube. So I think they just do a lot of cool shit and a lot of good shit, and it's rewarded them, obviously.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that guy's impressive. And like to your point, like he clearly cares about the product and something that, you know, maybe the MLB can kind of lean into, right? I mean, these guys that play in Banana Ball are essentially like micro influencers, right? They're influencers of the league, right? They're super active on social media and, you know, kind of going back to that golf talk, right? About the power of social media and using it, you know, to kind of grow the game. Baseball's got to lean into these players more, and the players got to lean into like being those personalities that are going to sell tickets, right? Because a lot of times people are becoming fans of you become a fan of the league and you become a fan of the product, right? But you're going to see maybe specific people, and Banana Ball, I think, has done a great job of that, right? Where you're leveraging the people that play in this league, you do these tryouts, kind of document the whole story behind these guys, and then you become a fan of the people that play in the league, and that incentivizes you that much more to want to go watch. So to me, that's something unique too that they've been doing. And baseball's got to lean into that too.
Got to do something.
Yeah.
Got to do something.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Marlins are not in last place in the division, so I will take that and, you know, keep moving forward. All right. Let's get into a debate of the week here. We're going to go with, you know, kind of piggybacking off the monkey conversation and the monkey war going on in Uganda. If animals could talk, what animal would be a dick?
The apes.
Yeah, they definitely would.
You think so?
The apes, 100%. The way that they do everything is just either aggressive or just like, what the hell are you doing?
Or disgusting. Yeah, they throwing shit at you, stealing your phone. What's wrong with you, dude?
I don't know. I think, look, they got their feisty side, but I don't think they'd be a dick. Like you got to do something to make them a dick. Like what animal, if like it would talk, would just be like a straight up asshole at all times? Like just
cat?
Nah.
A cat would judge you the minute you walk in the house. Like, look at this dirty
They do
bastard.
give me judgy vibes.
Look at this bitch walking in my
Look
house.
at this broke bitch.
Look at this guy. He didn't bother to brush his hair today. I'm like, Jesus, cat. Relax, dude. Tranquilo.
Let me see here. Let me get some inspo from my friend ChatGPT here.
I think maybe pelicans are like.
I like that.
They're constantly just like shitting over the world, and then being annoying,
A great angle,
all
actually.
the time.
I like that.
Anytime they never leave people alone, they always got to like butt their way into something.
I like that. I could see that.
Or seagulls.
Geese kind of give me that vibe. They got like this high neck and they think they're better than everyone else when they're walking around and all that.
Oh, dude, you know who'd be an asshole? Hold on, ostrich.
Oh, yes.
Them fuckers are looking for problems always, dude.
Baboons.
Correct. Baboons with their ass sticking out.
All right, I got a story for you. I'm sorry, I got to share this. I got a story.
Okay.
So I was in South Africa in Cape Town. We're on our little safari jungle thing, and I had to take a number 2, and they had a little shack somewhere, and I'm sitting in there, and there's no AC. It's kind of open, right? Just handling my business, and I look up at the mountain that was kind of next to us, and probably like 8 baboons. You see them just coming down from the mountain. I'm getting up out of there, and I'm asking the tour lady. I'm like, hey, she's like, oh, they're wild baboons. Like, we probably should get moving and get out of here before they come to us. I said, she was the calmest ever. And when I think baboons, I'm thinking aggressive. We're gonna come and kick your ass. And I'm sitting there handling my business and was fearing for my life. So.
Dude, and no more vulnerable state than with your ass out. And
yeah. With the thinnest possible toilet paper. It was a bad situation.
Hey, dude, baboons look like they're about that action too.
Yeah.
Animals are wild. I'm trying to think. I don't got a good one. I feel like a squirrel could be also a dick. I don't know why. I feel like they're sketchy. Just kind of running around. They look like they're all cute and shit, but they're fucking really assholes inside.
What about a fish? What fish can be a dick?
A puffer fish, maybe? I actually was thinking of that.
Killer whales are like bullies, bro. They probably just bully people all the time.
Oh yeah, but they have the rights to do it because they're just smarter and better than everyone. I'm not mad about it.
I don't know, deer. Deer can be mean.
No, there's
Bambi. Have you watched that movie?
Bambi?
It's like a mosquito. Mosquito can be a dick guy.
Nah,
It's gonna bite you today.
they're just annoying.
According to Google, chimpanzees would be number 1. Mm-hmm. They got dolphins at 2. But
I saw that.
Oh, that makes sense.
As humans, I feel like they're always looking out and protecting you from sharks. So that's maybe in their environment they are the assholes, and sharks probably these fuckers here, man. They already stopped me from eating people. So I can see that, but it's hard for me to put that on the list.
Yeah, I saw that. Ooh,
flies. My next one.
Yeah.
They got ants on here too, and ants make a lot of sense. You step on an ant pile, they're on your ass.
Yeah.
You only know ants are around because they're fucking you up. That's only the.
If you stepped on my house too, I'd probably be an
that's
asshole.
the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, but then they're coming in my kitchen window trying to eat my fucking cherry pie. So what are we saying?
That's the fly. Those are the flies, though. You see, the flies are they're pesky. Can never catch them or kill them because they're and then
I got one. How about mosquitoes, bro?
Yeah, 100% mosquitoes. They're just fucking
always trying to suck your blood, dog. Fucking trainers. Fucking lingerer.
Fuck mosquitoes, bro. That when you talk about mosquitoes, bro, what do they serve for the sake, right? Because there's certain animals, they're annoying, but they're part of the ecosystem. I really don't understand what mosquitoes do.
Malaria.
Yeah.
Spread disease.
That's it. They do not
spread diseases.
You just figured it out, buddy. Keep the population down.
Yeah.
There you go.
Population control.
True.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Who knew the smallest creature was on top of the food pyramid?
Oh, man. All right. Let's wrap it up here. We're going to do our dude of the week, as always. And, of course, number 1 overall pick, Miami legend now. All right, we've seen him all over social media. We've seen him in the Hugo Boss. We've seen him on LinkedIn. We've seen him everywhere. Our cool cat, dude of the week, Mr. Fernando Mendoza. What'd you guys think of Fernando staying at home, celebrating with his family? Everybody dressed to the T there. Everybody in a jacket, even from the kids.
Dude.
Nice. Hugo Boss set him up nice.
We were live, and I was saying that they looked like they were getting ready for a family group photo the entire live coverage. For them, luckily, it was the first 7 minutes.
Right.
I did think it was funny, and I hate to bring this up because we're telling him how awesome he is. but they were showing how like the live reaction was very awkward, and he like didn't know who to give a 5 to, and him and his brother missed hands and hugged, and then the one that got posted on NFL.com was a reshoot. They redid the whole reaction.
I think I did see something like that. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's just awkward when like you know what's coming and the cameras are just on you waiting for that moment. It's like you're just sitting there waiting, and then like you start rehearsing. I'm like, oh shit, I got to do this. I got to make sure I got to give this person a hug, because like you know everybody's gonna make a comment about that situation. So I feel like when you're just sitting in the room for so long, knowing cameras are recording every single thing that you do and it's just zoomed in on you, that's just got to be annoying. Somebody said something like when he was on the phone with, I guess, the Raiders coach, that they think he said, I love you after by accident. Like, who
the hell would do something like that?
Oh, shit. Oh, man. It's iconic. But it's, I mean, it's crazy to see what Fernando has become in this world. He's a walking billboard right now. It's insane. Like, I think he had 4 ads go out about it. The LinkedIn commercial, I will say, that went on TV during the draft was great, where he was like doing an interview in his house, and it looked like an actual post-round interview after he got picked, and then like the LinkedIn ad came up. I'm like, damn, that was clean. LinkedIn took advantage of the opportunity.
Oh yeah, they cashed out.
Yeah, he made a post too saying like, you know, he's not open to work anymore. He's now an Oakland or Las Vegas Raider. Crazy. Well, shout out Fern, shout out the boys, shout out the draft, shout out a good Friday this week. As always, appreciate you all for tuning in. And we'll have a full draft recap come next Friday. LeBron, we'll see what he does tonight. And next Friday, see you at the Cadillac Championship if you're down here in Miami or at F1 or both. But come out, Cadillac Championship is going to be a good time. Wingo, I know I'll see you out there, assuming you're in town. So let's have a fucking time, boys.
Pray for the apes.
Let's go. Yes, pray for the apes. Stay tuned. We're going to watch that one religiously.
Pray for Davey Boy too. He's out there, boots on the ground.
I got a Sora AI video coming of Dave in the trenches over there. All right, boys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.